I know I don't wear a tie. I don't ever wear a tie. To me, a suit with a nice shirt that's pressed, that comes out of the cleaners, is more than enough to go see clients with. If you feel comfortable in a tie is important for most people to be out there. There's certainly situations when you get into a situation where you would be giving a dinner or taking somebody out to a fine place, that's different than a tie might have to go on. But a minimum, even if you're cold calling at home, you have to dress the way you work. Otherwise, you will not get in the right mindset.
Glenn, up till now you were a genius.
What's that?
But you didn't do your homework. Dr. Demanian insists
The man's
on
on ties. I can see that.
So
now.
you let me down.
Sorry about that. Oh wait, somebody in the back. Sorry about that. I'll start wearing a tie, doctor. I'm sorry.
One thing I would add, by the way, is don't forget that when you're cold calling to a community that never heard of the upright MRI, when that guy hangs up the phone, or whoever receives, hangs up the phone and has nothing to do with you, you have not struck out. Because you have just taught somebody all about the existence of the upright MRI, and that's a thought that that person on the other end of the phone is never going to be able to get rid of.
That's right.
He may not respond to you this week, he may talk to somebody else, but if you do enough of it, you will have created the buzz in your community about the upright MRI. So that you end up with this scenario that Glenn was talking about, where in this community or so, where he went there and he was sitting in the back and everybody was saying, did you get the Broder call this morning? The result was buzz.
Buzz? No doubt. We were selling more dollars in security systems than anybody else in town from that kind of campaigning. People said I was nuts. It was before I had bought my first house and I invested in my first dialer instead of my first house. And people were like, you're crazy. What are you spending so much money for this thing? It tripled my business in 60 days. I never saw anything like it. We went from dialing singly to going to computerized dialing. It was the best, and I bought it from a company on Hempstead. So we came here to end up buying the first. We were the third customer of this predictive dialing company. I've always believed to stay on the cutting edge of, especially having to do with marketing, because it's our specialty. Staying on the cutting edge is extremely important, and the way technology is now, there's great advantages.
Do not call us.
Yeah, everybody's cleaned out of the do not call us. But you want to know something funny? I think that is a ridiculous law, personally, the do not call list. And I'll tell you an interesting fact about being a third-party provider of phone service. Technically, I would get off on a warning on any single number. So as a third party, the companies hire me, and they can if they choose to do it. They generally don't. You can call the do not call list one time. There's also, a lot of people don't know this in cold calling, when you're in the business, we need every advantage. When you sign your paper or you enter your numbers into the do not call list at the end of each year, your do not call list expires on a date, and it takes 30 days to get put back onto the do not call list. So I have guys at the list company that are actually figuring out the pace of this 30 days. And we're going to load up the do not call list for those 30 days, and we're free and clear. Nothing can happen. So sometimes that's why I said, if it's legal, up to the law, that's what business is about. You have to take advantage of everything you can. There's nothing wrong. So on the 29th day, I'll stop dialing that list, knowing in 2 days they're going to show up on the new list, and I haven't done anything wrong.
It's called dialing for dollars.
Yeah, dial in, yeah, no doubt.
What do you say when you make a cold call to our product?
Right now, what we're doing, we're first asking whether they know about the technology being there. And then at the point when they're saying no, we're saying we need to get this information into your hands as quickly as possible, because we know they'll accept a fax at the doctor's office. And then we're sending it right out and finding out when would be a good time to call back the office manager. The only place that we're sitting right now waiting for the next call is we hadn't determined what we should really fax. And until then, I have a list sitting. But now we could see the next level of that operation as soon as we drop that on those people. But the upfront call, because so many have no idea about it, has been an exciting call. As a matter of fact, the one person that we had working on it in Columbus said it was the easiest calling they had ever done. Which we've tried some very hard things using direct contact marketing, and we always get a return better than direct. But this is one where we would literally be faxing 90% of the calls. That should be very exciting to you guys as reps, because that buzz that you can start is so